The club was started in 1985 by Michael Nevin and Declan Draper. I myself joined in 1987 and I haven't left since.
And how long have you actually been running the club now?
Well, I got my black belt in 1991 and since then I was teaching. So you get your black belt, you start helping out in the club, or as a school we call it, as opposed to a club. My instructor, Michael Nevin, now he moved away from Dublin to Carlow. So I was left to run the school maybe, I think around 1999, 2000, around that time. So since then I've been running that.
Well, don't have it beside your head, you can keep it in your head. Ready? 5 each way, go.
The main skills, that really depends on the type of person taking part. With the children, the very young children, they've no coordination. Mm-hmm. So we try and get them more with their balance. Just even standing in line for more than 10 seconds is a challenge, yeah, if they like to run around. As they get, and they're quite flexible as well, but it's managing that flexibility. As they get older, if you can keep them, that's great. But if you get older people joining, their main problems is flexibility. It could be fitness. So the movements are structured so that they exercise the whole body. So from the punching to the kick and the blocks. If you do a good class, you're sore the next morning all over because you're using your whole body. So the main skills will be fitness, flexibility and balance.
And apart from the physical side of it, would you notice any personal skills like confidence being gained?
Yeah, because the most important part of Taekwondo is the do part. So the Tae and the Kwon are the punching and kicking part. The do is the way of life. After that, you've 9 exams until you get your black belt. There actually only is colours of the belt. There's a yellow belt, a green belt, a blue belt, and a red belt. In between the belts, you may notice there's a tag of like a red. If you have a blue belt, you have a red tag. That means your next belt is red belt. So they're kind of broken down into a syllabus. And each belt would then have a meaning. White belt is just the innocence. Everyone starts as, you know, we're born, we're innocent. The yellow belt signifies the person moving up in there. It's the growth. Then the green would symbolise the earth, which you're kind of halfway through, you're starting to grow. And then the blue belt signifies the sky, to where the student is growing up. So that symbolism is brought back to the first 3 belts. Red signifies danger, and it's just to get the student to maybe restrain themselves because they've a lot of power. So some people, they kind of get out of hand. So red kind of puts stop to that. Then when you get to black, black would be the opposite to white in Asian culture. Black is symbolized the impervious to darkness and fear. So, and that's the end of it. Once you get to black, that's the last last colour belt you get. And you wear that until the belt more or less falls apart.
And Stephen, what is the significance for students to bow when entering the dojang?
Because Taekwondo is a Korean martial art, it's an Asian tradition to bow to each other. So instead of handshakes, you bow. We use it as more of to show courtesy and respect. So when you enter the dojang, there may be a picture of the founder, or there might be a national flag, and when you enter, you bow to that. You would then bow to your instructor. During the class, if they're doing a partner drill or they're going to spar, they would bow to each other. So there is an awful lot of bowing. When we leave the dojang, we don't just do the tens of Taekwondo there, we do them outside as well. So if you meet someone from Taekwondo, you'd bow, which looks a bit funny when you're walking around Dublin. And especially if you meet someone in a social occasion in a pub, and maybe you walk in and you're a lot of students and there's a lot of people standing up and bowing because they'd stand up to bow. And so people find that a bit funny. But it's a courtesy. We never refer to each other by our first name. It's always Mr., Miss, or Master, or Grandmaster, or Senior Master. It's a courtesy thing. It's for respect.
Stephen, thank you so much for joining us today.
No problem, it's my pleasure.
How do
I'll
you do it?
use the proper Taekwondo etiquette. We bow this way. We put one hand underneath like this way. And then when we bow, we like this way. That's how
Sure.
you shake hands in Taekwondo.
Thank you very much.
No problem.